become conscious of the fact that they aren't realizing their potential, they start feeling like they can be, do, and have more, they immediately turn to personal growth or personal development. And that's normal. It makes sense. It's logical. I totally agree to an extent. Your personal growth efforts are meant to accomplish one thing: transformation, to help you morph from who you are now into someone who can be, do, and have the more that you're looking for. But the reason that I don't believe the strategy is going to work for you is twofold. The first is that you are trying to, you're turning to books and courses and coaches and all the rest, which I get. I do the same. I'm not any different. But the flaw in the strategy comes in the fact that by reading all these books and taking all these courses, you're doing more in order to be more, right? You're doing tons of things in an effort to be someone different. And in fact, you don't have to do that because you are who you need to be already. You just have to remember that fact, that you are who you need to be. Okay? The second part of this, the second flaw, let's say, in the strategy is that if you're putting all your efforts into personal growth, you're missing the opportunity to truly step into being your authentic self, who you really are, that part of you who can realize your potential. And that's the spiritual side of you, because you are a spiritual being having a human experience, a physical experience. And so what happens is a lot of the books and courses and all those things, they tell you to do lots of stuff that's related to your physical human being and not to your spiritual being, right? So for me, if I didn't believe that personal growth worked, I wouldn't be a certified high performance coach. I wouldn't offer my intuitive transformational coaching program, Inspired Results Coaching, or my Inspired Results, my Inspired Creator Community. I wouldn't do any of those things, nor would I invest in books and courses and coaches myself, which I do. But my focus is on personal and spiritual growth, because I am twofold, as are you. You are a spiritual being and a physical being, or human being, right? And so we have to address both of those. Now, the thing is that it's much harder to be something you're not, right? So what's happened is we've tacked on all kinds of layers. So we learn things in life, or we're told things, we're taught things, we experience things, and we start to add layers onto who we really are, which is the spiritual being having a physical experience or a human experience. And these layers just get piled on, and then we're being someone that we're not. And that is way harder than being who you are, being authentic. And I don't mean just authentic in terms of your human characteristics, but also your spiritual characteristics. So it's easier to just be your authentic self. Now, is it easy to pull away all the layers like an onion? No, it's not easy. It's freaking hard, and it'll cause you to cry, just like peeling an onion does. But the fact is that once you are your authentic self, it becomes much easier to live your life, to show up, and to achieve your potential. So I do talk a lot about identity and choosing an identity, right? And that you can choose an identity, and then your habits and all of that will align with that. But you can also choose to just be your authentic self, to tap into the spiritual part of yourself and show up as that, which is way easier. So you came into this world as a pure soul, ready to express your uniqueness, to be yourself, to be authentic. And then due to conditioning and your experiences, like I said, you begin to change, and you don't express authentically anymore. You express as this person with all these layers that are meant to keep you safe, because as a physical being, one of the things is your brain wants to keep you safe. The reptilian part of the brain is going to always tell you not to do things that are different, including not to be yourself, not to express your authentic spiritual essence, because you've probably along the way received negative feedback for that, and so it wants to keep you safe, right? Now, when you're born, you immediately forget who you are, this spiritual being, and you only remember that you are a physical being. And so much of our lives are about remembering who we are, really remembering who we are. And it's important to know that, because you're not the only one who's forgotten who you are or has buried that part of yourself deep down within, right? And so typically what happens is when we realize that we're not being who we need to be to have what we want, right? To do the things necessary to have what we want, whatever that is. Then we, as I said, set out on a personal growth path. But what you want to do is you want to have a personal and a spiritual growth path, because that is who you are, and that's how you're going to achieve the best results and more quickly become who you really are. Not really become it, but remember who you are and begin showing up in the world as that spiritual essence, that core essence, call it soul or spirit or whatever you want. So if you're genuinely interested in realizing your potential, it's time to stop using this broken strategy of doing more and only focusing on personal growth. So let's just start being more of who you are, and focusing on your personal and your spiritual growth, because that's how you will become more actualized. And none of us are going to probably be 100% actualized, 100% tapped into higher self or spirit or source all the time. We're not going to necessarily be performing miracles, but we can step into a greater level of consciousness and openness to spiritual guidance and self-expression. And when we do that, we are expressing our authentic self, and we become more able to achieve our potential. So what you'll also find is that there's a magic to being your authentic self, to expressing your true essence, and it magnetizes things to you. So all those things you want to have, you will be able to manifest them much more quickly by being your essence, by being your true spiritual self, your authentic self. You will also find that you magnetize people to you, which is great for your business, great if you're looking for your soulmate clients, your soulmate, any of those things. And the last thing I want to say about this, that hiding who you are is a disservice to you, to others, to the world, and even to Source. You came here as a unique being to offer a gift and be of service and contribute in some way. And when you keep this core part of yourself hidden away, you can't realize your potential or your purpose here. And your purpose here is to remember who you are and to fully embody everything that Source is, right? We co-creators with Source, and Source needs us to function here on this earth plane and do the things that we came here to do. But you can't do that if you are holding back and hiding. And so it's essential that you begin to express your core essence, and that you begin to work with Source, right, to make a difference here. So it's really a disservice if you're not doing that. Sorry for the barking puppy. So fulfilling our potential involves expressing our spiritual nature. And so if you want to fulfill your potential, you not only need to remember who you are and begin to embody that or express that, but you also need to so you have to remember and express, and then do the things in the world that are aligned with that, right? Because that's how you're going to achieve your potential and your purpose. And part of your purpose is to remember and to fully embody the spiritual being that you are, that is connected to Source. So once you are expressing that authentic self, you will find it very much easier to achieve your potential and your purpose, for sure. And so that is why we're here, to remember who we are, to embody that, to express it, and to align our behaviors with it, align our actions in the world with it. And that's how we're going to also make a difference. So that is it for today. I would love to know if you're being your authentic self, and if not, what is stopping you? Leave me a comment down below. I'm Nina Amir. I'm the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I am an intuitive transformational catalyst. I offer certified high performance coaching, my own brand of personal and spiritual growth coaching called Inspired Results Coaching. I do most of this through the Inspired Creator community. The link is up above. Feel free to click through, and it would be my honor to work with you on your personal and spiritual growth so that you can realize your potential and your purpose in this lifetime. So until I talk to you next time, as always, go out there and achieve more inspired results.